the Nudge RDA. Wotofo and Matt from Suck My Mod partnered together and come out with this, which they have done a few collabs in the past. Most recent was the SMM. They have the Nudge 22 and the Nudge 24. Today we're going to be building on the Nudge 24 Red Edition. So hopefully you enjoy this. This isn't going to be a review just yet. I received it in the mail yesterday, so let's get to building on it. If you haven't seen the deck on the Nudge RDA already, this is the dual coil squonkable deck. It is different, called the Z-Post design. Anyways, a little bit of machine oil I would notice here. This is brand new, straight out of the box. So we're gonna clean this up and I'll be back. This does come pre-installed with the squonk pin, and it is branded Suck My Mod, Wotofo, www.wotofo.com, and we will be using this in squonk mode today. A lot of the reviews I've seen, people have said this is kind of where it shines because of the design and this little pyramiding effect. It, like, even when you drip, it will cascade down onto your wicks. So you guys know I was using the Icon RDA on this squonk box, but it's time to re-wick this anyways. After even 3 days of using it, this Anarchist Pink, it has so much flavoring in it and stuff that it just destroys coils. So let's put a fresh build in here and see what we're working with. Screw it onto a mod, make sure we're turned off. We are. Put the cap aside. I'm not going to go over the contents of the box today. I'm going to install a couple flat Claptons by Geek Vape. Should come out to a 0.14, 0.15-ish once I clip the length of these leads off here for this deck. So let's get them in. The reason behind me using Chinese made coils, they won't last as long, so I'll be able to change them out in a week or two and put a different style of coil in, so I can kind of get some extensive testing and try different coils and see what I like in this particular RDA, which is generally what I like to do with most of the products I use. So you want to grab you a Phillips head screwdriver for this particular deck. All the screws up. Now these coils are 3mm, and that's probably about the biggest that I would go for this. Let's see if I can get a better angle for you. So I have 3mm coils here, and this is about the biggest diameter coil I would put in here. I'm gonna give it a shot and see what we come up with. The way the design is, you kind of come in from here. You don't have to pre-clip your leads, but there is a possibility that this coil may be a smidge too big for it. Now I guess I should turn that around. Well, it took some finagling, but I got it in there. I'm not sure. I may take that coil out and make it a 2.5mm, because it is close in there. But Matt said it was, and that affects the flavor. So I think because it's spaced, it's taking up a lot more room, but we'll give it a shot. We're going to tighten down the first post. I'm trying to keep it somewhat lined up in there. Yeah, it looks better once you start tightening it down. So I'll tighten the other one down and we'll install the other coil. Okay, if you can see that there, I shrunk this coil down to 2.5mm with this frame. Yeah, flat Clapton. It ain't gonna work right. Not for me. This one should be a little bit easier to insert, definitely. 2.5mm I think is definitely a sweet spot for this. Or smaller if you so choose. But that's up to you. So I kind of push on it. I hold resistance against it. Tighten it in there. Sorry, I'm kind of off camera, but it's weird. It's a deck you got to get used to building on, that's for sure. But it looks nice. Definitely want to clip your leads on this one. Before you install the second coil. So that's what the first one should look like. And on this particular coil, you're going to want the leads underneath instead of on top, say like the GoVad or something along them lines with a clamp style. Maybe the Faro, I'm not sure. I don't own one personally. I would like to own one, but I haven't yet ordered one. So let me get this coil positioned and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you look here, you can see how the lead, the wrap goes over, then under into here, and same on that side, it goes around and under. So that's what you want. So we've got it into position. Now let's see if we can match it like we did the other coil. Kind of pull it over a bit, hold it. I'll tighten down this, oops, and mistakes are made. Yes, on camera it's easy to do. Tighten down that first one. It's weird how the screw actually pushes the lead. You can feel it pushing, trying to push it out. It doesn't, but it definitely feels like it's going to. Now we're going to tighten this one down and we should be out of the way. I'll clip these leads and I'll show you what we got. So that's what we got there. Should come out to, I bet it'll be probably about a 0.12 now because there's less wire since I had to clip some off. Otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. I actually like my coils lower so it can match the airflow, but you can see there through the airflow slot that you can see the coil. And it's going to basically go underneath it without being bottom airflow. So let's get them glowing. Shouldn't be touching anywhere in there. And it's not. So I screwed the deck down onto the alien. And of course it didn't read it. So new coil. Oh yeah, it is low. Good thing we'll be using a 2700 battery, but that is awfully low. Wow. Alright, well we're safe to use this on the Tesla Invader 2.3 triple battery, triple 18650 battery mod. So this is generally where I enjoy the 0.15 ohm coil for the Wismec Gnome tank at 52 watts. And it has been great. It's barely even at 3 volts. But I'm also trying to make the coil head last a little bit longer. So we've got this device on, I've got it turned down low, and we're just going to give it little pulses. We know it's over 0.1 ohm, so it'll be fine on here. A hot spot, of course, and you just work the hot spots out like any other coil. Strumming, clamping, whatever. We'll make sure we're not touching. Still strumming and working. I get all them hot spots out. They really weren't that bad considering, but I did get one hot spot underneath, and now I think it's gone. And it's probably give or take around 70 watts. That's what it should look like. The juice we'll be using, I guess, is gonna be Anarchist Pink in 4 milligram today, because I will be using it on the VP Dam Lee on Squonk mod today. Single 2700. Don't have to do this part. I like to kind of prime the metal to get any weird flavor out of it, but that's up to you. That's all preference. So let's get her wicked up and on the squonker. Now, I generally don't mind cotton bacon so much, so that's what I use. It's what I have available to me, which isn't a problem. I also use the pads occasionally and Texas Quick Wick. It just depends on the build and what the intentions are, how hot the build is going to run, etc. So we're going to go ahead and wick this with cotton bacon. I get a piece about that big and fluff it out a bit. Roll it together, not super tight, but just tight enough so it's not, all the little frayed edges are gone. So the wet coil definitely helps you get your wicks through. In my experience, once I started doing that, it started making it a lot easier to wick my coils. But everybody has their own little way that works for them. This won't need too much cotton because it's not that deep of a juice well. So I'm just gonna cut it off about here for now. Do the other side. So it definitely is a little weird on this, the Nudge RDA, to get used to building and wicking it, but I think I kind of like it already. I generally go for different, and this definitely fits the bill there. So, let's see if I can get my wicks evened out here and we'll get it ready. So, just fluff it out like I've showed you in a previous video on re-wicking. And let's get to the squonking action. Most individuals that use cotton bacon will do this fluffing. Some that use the pads will also do it, but again, preference. It's all basically subjective. It does help with wicking for me personally, and not having like clumpy, nasty sweet spots of juice in your cotton. But you also don't want to thin it too much, because then it'll won't wick near as efficiently. That looks pretty good there. I think I can shorten these wicks down some. Yeah, just a smidge. So when you get done re-wicking this device, you want to make sure that the wick is not in the way of the airflow on either side. Now I'm gonna leave the coils up high for this build, and I think the next build I'm gonna try to flip them around and go lower. But this, again, it's just testing. See what works, see what doesn't work. So let's get it on the Squonk mod and we'll go from there. Because no one wants to vape on that. Yuck. There you have it. The Nudge RDA built, wicked, and ready to squonk. See the juice? Both sides, puddles up. Perfect. All right. Vapors indeed. Let's go up to normal view or FaceTime, whatever you want to call it, whatever works for you. And let's see how she vapes for the first time. I'm super excited about this because I've been waiting for it for about 2 weeks. I love how it lines up perfectly, like it was built for this box, even though I know it wasn't. But let's move on. My biggest gripe with this squonker is the bottle is messy, but I think all squonkers, they have a messiness factor to them. But, oh well. I haven't used this yet, so let's give it a shot. I'll tell you right off the bat, just from one puff, and it's not even broke in yet, the flavor is awesome. And don't get me wrong, I love the airflow and everything on this Icon RDA, but I want to check out the Iconic RDA. All right. Definitely stays juiced. That's the Nudge, the good iJoy 2700 battery, and Anarchist pink lemonade. I really dig this juice. They get burnt out on it fairly quick, but a bottle a month suits me and my wife fairly well. So I will do a review on this, but so far, bravo, Wotofo and Matt, Suck My Mod. I love your videos, and keep coming out with products. These reviewers products, I gotta say, are amongst my top tier of products that I use, mostly RDAs. This Bonza, I did a video on last week. I've been using it for about 3 weeks now, and double thumbs up for it. This Nudge, it's gonna be another one. This is probably gonna be my go-to RDA for squonking, I would say. I'm gonna close the airflow off halfway. That's a little restrictive. Oh yeah. The squonk works well. It vapes well. Loving it. So if you're in the market for an affordable RDA, squonkable RDA with the custom acrylic drip tip to match your color of RDA, I think it's an aluminum top cap, I'm pretty sure. It's like 30 to 40 bucks, ranges online. You can find it on My V Pro, I think, and amongst other sites, Wotofo.com, of course. But anyways, that's all I got for you today. I hope to see you next week. I'll do a review on this in a couple weeks to catch up with everyone else that already has reviews out for it. But I appreciate you all, and you have a great day.